and welcome to News First Prime Time Sunrise.
It's Newsfirst Prime Time Sunrise coming to you live on MTV Sports. I am Shahin Jirapati. We start off with a look at your headlines. Central Bank auctions more than $156 million in bonds. President Sirisena to meet British Prime Minister David Cameron today. Ministry of External Affairs says that there are 29 vacancies for positions of Sri Lankan diplomats and officials in the foreign service. 10 dead as helicopters crash in Argentina. Now for a look at those stories in detail. The Government Medical Officers Association points out that instead of granting salaries and allowances to the health sector, through the budget, there is an attempt to create divisions among various professions attached to the health service. The association made this statement at a media briefing held yesterday.
Without taking the salary given to them, it is evident that they are trying to inconvenience the government by demanding for something that they cannot have, which is the same allowance as given to doctors. All sectors of the health service, including nurses and paramedics, are due to receive an amended salary in the near future. However, these salaries and allowances are being handled by one person according to his own wishes. Through this, he is attempting to create a division between doctors and other professions of the health service. It is very clear it will be the patients who will ultimately be inconvenienced. If possible, let them take a trade union action in their fields. If one is functioning in the capacity of a male nurse, then take trade union action and show it is not possible to give the allowances given to doctors by the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of State Administration to any other profession. We hope that the perks due by government doctors will be given to them in due time. If we do not receive it within the week, we will go in for a trade union action.
President Maithripala Sirisena, who is on an official visit to the United Kingdom, is due to hold bilateral discussions with British Prime Minister David Cameron today. For more information in this regard, we contacted Presidential Media Director Dharmasri Bandara Ekanayaka.
Today
is the third day of President Maithripala Sirisena's visit to the UK. Yesterday, the President attended the main event held in view of the Commonwealth Day. The event was attended by Queen Elizabeth II, several members of the royal family and Secretary General of the Commonwealth of Nations Kamali Sharma. Today, President Maithripala Sirisena is to meet with British Prime Minister David Cameron at his official residence. Thereafter, the President is to meet with a group of Sri Lankans residing in London. The last day of the visit will be tomorrow, and the President will attend a dinner hosted by Queen Elizabeth II at the Buckingham Palace in honour of President Maithripala Sirisena.
Also making headlines this morning, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, on behalf of the government of Sri Lanka, is set to issue Sri Lanka development bonds. At the auction, more than $172 million of bids have been put forward for bonds that mature in 3 years, and the Central Bank has decided to accept bonds worth $156.5 million. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka said that the issue of development bonds will be primarily designed to obtain $50 million. These bonds will be issued as bonds maturing in 3 years and 10 years. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka is set to issue treasury bonds worth 30,000 million rupees. The Central Bank said that these bonds will be issued at the auction today. Treasury bonds that mature in 7 years and 4 months, 10 years and 20 years will be issued. In addition, the Central Bank has been designed to provide a short-term loan of 20,000 million from treasury bills. These treasury bills will be sold at the auction tomorrow. Agrarian societies point out, due to the government refusing to purchase paddy, citing the wet condition, they have been unable to obtain a proper price for their paddy produce. National organizer of the All Island Farmers Federation, Namal Karnaratna, says that due to this reason, private vendors are able to obtain their produce at lower rates.
We are not against government officials checking for 17% wetness in paddy when purchasing. However, the farmer has no mechanism to remove this wetness in paddy. Even the government doesn't have machines to dry paddy. Under these circumstances, the paddy produce of the farmer is rejected. Then what happens is the intermediary vendors purchase the paddy for a lower rate, and then they sell the paddy under various names to the government paddy storage facility. Amazingly, the paddy that was not dry in the morning is dry by afternoon. All this is decided on the commission. As a result, the farmer is not done justice. If the government has a stipulated price, why can't they legalize it? If the price is legalized, even if the government do not purchase it, the paddy will not be purchased by anyone at a lower rate. We cannot purchase paddy that is wet. If we store wet paddy, it will be of no use to anyone and it will be a waste. Private vendors purchase it at a lower rate. In order to solve this problem, we need to increase the number of mills. As the Paddy Marketing Board, we cannot purchase wet paddy.
Ministry of External Affairs says that there are 29 vacancies for positions of Sri Lankan diplomats and officials in the Foreign Service. Subject Minister Ajit P. Pereira said that these vacancies have opened up following the suspension of certain politically motivated appointments of those loyal to the previous government. The minister added that these vacancies will be filled up as quickly as possible with qualified persons.
Appointing of Sri Lankan diplomats in the recent past had been completely politicized. Appointments to ambassadors of 29 embassies were politically motivated. Moreover, 36 other officials had been appointed to the second and third levels of embassies, which were also politically motivated appointments. All these officials who were appointed based on politics were recalled to the country. Instead, a recommendation was put forward to President Maithripala Sirisena to appoint qualified and exemplary officials of the Foreign Service to fill these positions. Following the approval of President Sirisena, this recommendation will be tabled in Parliament. Once it is approved in Parliament, we will take speedy measures to make these appointments. These appointments will be granted to either senior officials in the Foreign Service or professionals in this line of work.
Assistant Director of the Disaster Management Centre Pradeep Kodipalli states that rehearsals on creating awareness on disasters such as floods and landslides will take place in every district today.
Management Centre organised a national rehearsal on tsunami and landslide and flood. So that will cover entire country. The 25 districts will be covered. People will be evacuated from selected locations for those rehearsals. Flood and landslide rehearsals will be started in the morning by 10 o'clock up to 12. So in the evening, all the other rehearsals has to be started. All the coastal area would be covered, and that early warning towers will be activated. And there are 77 early warning towers around the coastal area of Sri Lanka, and that will be activated. Some of them will be activated today, that the people were aware in that particular area. So others will be checked by tomorrow and the after tomorrow. So people no need to panic, and their full support is very important. That coordination is perfectly required for the disaster management centre.
And that is a look at News First Primetime Sunrise for today. It is a pleasure having you with us. For the News First team, I'm Shanji Rampati, wishing you a good day.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.